In this video we are going to study what is a variable in computer program. And I think a quite good definition for a variable is that it is a named piece of computer memory. So, when you start learning computer programming, it is very important that you really understand what a variable is and how it works. And this is what we are going to find out in this lesson. My name is Kari Laitinen and I have this computer program here. It is a JavaScript Node.js program, and it is a very simple program, or it is a kind of computer game that when you run it, it works like this. So I can run it with the command node, and then it says that this program is a computer game. Please type in a number, and if I give it a number 444, for instance, it says that its number is 445, and it says that I lost the game and the computer program won. So it's a very simple program, and well, if you want to find this program, you can first go to naturalprogramming.com, and there you can find this icon JavaScript, and then you enter this page, and here you have the program as the first program in this list. And if you click this name with the right mouse button, you can download it for yourself. At the end of this page there are instructions how you can install Node.js and how you can then run this program. But well, let's go and study this program a little bit first. So all these lines in this program that are written with this blue color, they are comments, and they are not belonging to the actual program. And then this statement here, it displays this text. This program is a computer game. Please type in a number. And then the program starts waiting for the user to input a number. And so after the user has input the number, these statements will be executed. And then the program stops. So there are now two variables in this program. So in JavaScript you specify variables with this keyword var, and then you give each variable a name. And there are now two variables. The first variable is given number, and the other variable is winning number. So these are the names of the variables, and this statement then takes the input from the user and it converts it into a number, and we say that it assigns this number to this variable, and then it calculates a value that is one larger than the given number, and then it assigns that value to this other variable, and then it displays this text, and the values of the variables are then converted to text, and then they are joined to these other texts, and then they are shown to the user. And then, well, as you see, the program always wins. So these are assignment statements in which we assign values for variables. And so the variable, as the definition says that it is a piece of computer memory. So I will try to explain now what that really means. So that I have here a drawing. I have here a drawing like this. So in this drawing, I have tried to draw the computer memory on a paper, but it is not easy thing to do because for instance many computers these days they have something like 8 gigabytes of main memory, and what that actually means that there are something like 8 and this many zeros bytes to store information. So you can think that the computer memory is a very long list of bytes into which you can store information, and I can't draw all these many bytes here, but this shows you can think that the computer memory looks like this. And then when a program is running on a computer, then the program execution system can allocate memory space for variables. And for instance, when we have these two variables, given number and winning number, so these two variables get some piece of memory, or we can think that they can get some piece of memory from the main memory, and it is located somewhere among these many bytes. And in JavaScript, usually numbers they take something like 8 bytes of memory. So these variables would be something like 8 bytes then, but it doesn't really matter how many bytes there is given to each variable, but the most important thing is to understand that this memory area and this memory area, they are now reserved for these two variables, and these memory areas, they can be accessed with these variable names. So this variable given number, it is now this piece of computer memory, and this winning number is now this piece of computer memory. We can think like this. And when we, for instance, if I run this program like that, I first give it number 444, so then this value is stored there, 444, and well, the computer takes care that it stores with this value in binary form into these bytes, and then when we execute this statement here, the computer first calculates that how much it takes the value from this memory area, and it adds 1 to it, and then it gets the value 445, and then it assigns this value to, or it stores this value to this memory area or piece of memory. And what is important to understand about variables is that they can hold one number or one value, and then if something is written into the memory area, then the old value is lost. So for instance, I could modify this program a little bit. I could write like this, that So I would assign a value like this to this variable, and let's see what happens. If I run the program, so it again displays the normal text there, and well, I can say again this 444, but then it says you typed in 999 and it says that its number is 445, and it again claims that it lost. So when I added this statement to the program, it actually, what happened there was that this value 444 was first stored into this variable, and then it calculated this value by adding 445 there, but after that there was this extra statement, and it referred with this name to this variable, and it put the value 999 to the memory. So it happened that this value changed, and in the end there was this value in the variable, and that value was then shown to the user. And if I take this statement out from here, and if I paste it here, and I again save the program, and I rerun the program, and I again give it the value 444, now it says that you typed in 999 and its number is 1000. So what happened here, that it is that I immediately after the value was stored, the 444 was stored into this variable, but immediately afterwards it was a new value was stored into this variable, and then that value was used when this statement was executed. So for that reason this winning number got this value 1000. So it is important to understand about variables that they always keep their value as long as a new value is written to the variable or assigned to the variable. And then this for instance, in this I will modify this, like now there is this current version of the program. So this value 444, it was originally stored into this variable, but when after this 999 was written to it, this value 444 is forever lost. So this is how variables work. And then these values, although I write them like decimal numbers here, they are actually, the computer automatically stores the values in binary form into the variables. And well, then some words about this program and about variables. So it is possible, if I take this out, so variables can be defined like this, that you can first define a variable and then refer to the variable with its name. So I could alternatively define this variable like this. Let's run the program. Well, I will will put the value 999 there, and it still works. And actually I could do it also like this, that I would specify the given number and winning number like this, and then I would take this out from here. And I will save it, and I will rerun the program, and it still works. So you can, it is possible that you first define or declare variables like this, but you don't assign values for them, and then later on you have statements that specify that assign values to the variables. And so this means that when you specify variables like this, it means that you just first, we could simulate this so that I take out the values from there, and so you can think that when you first specify variables like this, you just reserve memory space for the variables, and then only later on when you execute the program you give the values or store the values to these memory areas or memory pieces. But usually it is very common that you always specify a variable and you then assign immediately values to those variables. And you have to name the variables. I usually use these so-called natural names, so that the names are made of natural words with underscores separating the words. And it is very common also that you separate the words so that you put uppercase letter to the second word. But I use this underscore thing. But well, I think that this is now enough about variables, and then after you understand what a variable is, then you can move on to learn other things about computer programming. Okay, thank you and goodbye.